Hello, welcome back. So in the previous session, we have just understood what we are actually going to do in the sentiment analysis model building, basically. So let's just get started with the hands-on part for this. So before I begin with a hands-on part, first let us understand uh, what data set we are actually going to use, or what is the data set on which we are going to analyze the sentiment for that particular data corpus. So I have taken a data set from Kaggle, and it's called Grammar and Online Product Reviews. So this is one of the best data set available in the Kaggle. So you can just visit this Kaggle slash datafinite slash grammar online product reviews. I will also drop the link in the session as well. So you can just, when you visit this is the CSV data basically. It is about 95 MB. You can just have a look about the dataset as well here itself, and you can download it from here. So I have just downloaded the data from here, and I am going to use this dataset for building a sentiment analysis model. So let's just begin with a very preliminary step of any kind of NLP task, that is importing the necessary packages. So first, just import the generic libraries. So what are generic libraries which are helpful when we build when we build a machine learning or a deep learning model? So the generic libraries would be pandas, numpy, collections, and CSV. So I have just imported them as import pandas as PD, numpy as NP, then collections and counters and a CSV. Then we will be importing the very necessary toolkit, that is NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit library. So this is very much important when it comes to text analysis process, right? So we can just use import NLTK. Then there are certain dependencies or certain submodules that need to be downloaded separately. So for that, what we can do, there is a shortcut for this, that is nltk.download. Then if we give all in a single quote, it will download all the submodules of the NLTK module or NLTK library. So then from the NLTK corpus, I have imported stop words, frequency distribution, word tokenizer, word lemmatizer, word net, word lemmatizer, and initialize the word lemmatizer here itself. So why are these required? So as I mentioned, as a pre-processing step or a text processing, pre-processing for text analysis, we are going to remove the stop words, punctuations, lemmatize, stemming, etc. So all to perform all those activities, we are going to be using these imports in the project. So then we'll be downloading visualization library. So why is this visualization necessary? So whenever we actually end up building any machine learning model, a major pre a major pre-processing, or what we can say a major step which we have to conduct before building the model, that is exploratory data analysis. So what does that mean? We are going to explore the data with some visualization techniques to get better insights about the data. So I'm going to explain what are all the different techniques which we going to carry in the exploratory data analysis in the future sessions. But first let us understand what are the necessary modules or the libraries which are necessary for building or visualization uh, images basically. So we are going to use plotly.graph underscore objects as GO. Then Seaborn, it is one of the important visualization tool. Then Matplotlib, then word cloud. As I mentioned, word cloud is a pictorial representation of cloud of words with size of the word being bigger for a highest frequency of the word. in the given text corpus. So for that we are going to import from word cloud, import word cloud. Then we are be using PIL for image, for better image visualization of the word cloud. Then we will be using certain grammatical or English nonsense for POS tagging or bigram, n-gram generation, etc. For those things, we will be using Spacy. So Spacy is one of the important library, just like NLTK, when it comes to text processing steps. So for that, we have to import Spacy. Then from spacy.language.english.stoppers, I have downloaded these stoppers. So what is difference between the stoppers imported from the NLTK library and this one? So it is more specific and more dense, or dense collection of stoppers when coming to, or when compared to the stoppers which we have imported from the NLTK library. So we can use any of these two. These two are a good collection of stoppers basically. So you can use any of these things. So I have also loaded one of the model from the Spacy, that is NLP equals to spacy.load English core web.sm. So the importance of these things we will be understanding as and when we use these in the process of sentiment analysis. So then we will be using a spell checker. So this is very important. So when it comes to reviews, product reviews, there is high chance that the customers jumping in to write a review make a spelling mistakes. So it's very important to correct those spellings, because a word can actually impact the sentence or impact the paragraph very much. So making a spelling mistake will make that word very unique, right? It will be not similar to any of the generalized form of those words. Suppose if I write lion, Lion, as a correct form, instead of writing lion, if I write Loin, even though user tends to say it is a lion, but he has written it in a wrong spelling, right? So this tool, or this handy tool, is very much important when it comes to text analysis, that is spell checker. So you can also install in this way, that is pip install py spell checker. So it is a ready-made build module available within the Python library. So you can pip install that from the server. Then from spell checker, you can import this spell checker class basically. Then we'll be importing all the necessary tools or necessary libraries which are generally used for building a machine learning model. So that is cross validation score, has spicy pairs, hashtag, count vectorizer, accuracy score, train test split, confusion matrix, classification report, random forest. We will try to build different types of basically machine learning models. So for that, random forest classifier, logistic regression, cross validation, etc. So we will be importing all the necessary libraries for machine learning model building. Then I have just also downloaded XGBoost. We'll see how to import or how to use the XG boosting techniques when it comes to building a machine learning model as well. Then the very popular set of modules which are necessary for building a deep learning module, that is deep learning model, that is Keras. So Keras we are using as a backend for building a machine deep learning model. So for that, from the Keras pre-processing, I am going to use the tokenizer, sequential, dense, embedding, LSTM, model checkpoints, etc. So these are all the necessary libraries which are used to build a deep learning model. Then I have also imported certain date metrics, date and time metrics. So and I have also imported this very important tool, that is regular expression. So I have also imported that, date, time and time, etc. So then we are going to use another one of the module called text blob, that we use basically to uh, get the sentiment score of a given word. So we can use this text blob, etc. So later on we are using certain panda techniques to visualize the columns better. So you can just set these options for better visualization of the rows and columns basically. So when you print out or when you print the data set or try to visualize the starting 5 rows or 5 columns, then uh, if you don't set these parameters for that, then those will be concatenated or will be displayed in the cut short form. So for that we can set this option as display.max columns and max column width as 203, or any number which you want actually basically. So then I have also imported pickle in order to save the model which we are going to build. Then this is something about warnings, ignoring the warnings of the thing. So now that we have imported all the necessary modules or necessary libraries to begin with our building process of sentiment analyzer, now the very next step will be loading the data set. So as I mentioned, I have downloaded the data set from the Kaggle, that is grammar and product reviews.csv file. So you can just download that CSV file. I'll drop the link for that, and you can load it into the Google Drive. So I have just loaded it in my Google Drive. So, and I'm trying to read this in a data frame. So I have initialized the variable called data frame df equals to pd.readcsv. So this is the command or the method available in pd or the pandas. So pandas.readcsv will basically convert internally the csv file into data frame. So data frame, what is data frame? Data frame is a pictorial representation or code basically converts the csv into a table form basically, right? So it will convert the csv comma separated values into a column and row format. So let's just have a look on our data frame or the data set, just a basic visualization about the data set. We'll try to have a in-depth visualization going forward, but just have a look at it. So you can see it has different columns called as ID, brand, categories, date added, date updated, but we are more focused about one particular thing, that is reviews, right? So we'll just jump onto that column. So there are other parameters also there for that particular reviews. So when is the review date added, review date seen, etc. So finally, we have something called review text. So this is the base or the what we can call a intuitive or a target column basically, which we will be analyzing or using this column for sentiment analysis. So this is about the initial steps about model building for sentiment analysis on a e-commerce product reviews.